Americans on one side, the Chinese teams on the other side of things. We could even have, if the stars align, a definite North American semi-final. That obviously depends if LMQ can actually win here and whether Cloud9 can win in their game later on in their tiebreaker game against Magic White Shield. But for now, we're into OMG versus LMQ, and it is a Twitch Jarvan ban for OMG.
So yeah, LMQ did use Jarvan in their area of effect combo, but that was not really the crux of their combo. Interesting choice of bans here from OMG. Yeah. They take out all three parts of it. They just want to get that all off the table and see if LMQ have any other strategies.
The only two picks that LMQ could use again against OMG from their previous victory at this point is Thresh and Syndra. It was really all about the Twitch Jarvan Rumble. Every single component of that composition taken away, forcing LMQ to use a different strategy. Speaking of which, with different strategies, LMQ has lost 3 games.
That is very true, and OMG were also going to get their Maokai pick once again. They had it in game 1 against LMQ. Of course, that game went to LMQ. We'll see if they can do that here again and secure that spot in the quarterfinals. For LMQ, will they take at least some parts of that composition that you were talking about with Thresh? More started on day 1, being an absolute beast on Thresh. I think it's safe to say that there's been a little bit more to be desired, but that Thresh may well get locked in.
Yeah, I definitely think it will get locked in. The reason that LMQ first picked it last time is because they want to take it away from Dada, because Dada has had a lackluster performance on other supports, like Nami or something like that. He's kind of a liability for OMG. So LMQ, this is a really big takeaway from OMG, locking in the first round Thresh this time. Plus, they get to get that comfort for no name, Lee Sin.
Also, stop that going to Loveling, although his most played champion, albeit just with 2 games, he's played 4 up until now, is, of course, Kha'Zix. Looking like he will be able to get his hands on that one straight away. They're also going to take the AD carry, picking up this time Lucian for San. He's also played that once already.
Yeah, so that is definitely not a late game OMG comp. They're looking to brawl with those champions.
I'm very interested to see what they use for Cool as well, because there's been very little attention paid to the mid lane and bans this time around, and LMQ have the guaranteed counter pick for the lane. So Cool have to show his cards early and pick something that doesn't have hard counters. Like Zed and Yasuo still on the table, Ryze is already banned out, but Orianna Syndra was what actually Xiao used last time to get his solo kill. So Syndra is going to be available. That means no melee assassin for Cool. He's going to play much safer.
It's a lot of shields and heals that they'll be able to throw out with the Janna ultimate on top of the Maokai. I think that's a really solid team composition from OMG, nothing miraculous. I wonder if LMQ can try to pick it apart.
Interesting sniper composition from LMQ though. Last couple lock-ins here, they do get a lot of long-range artillery, and they've got double shields for themselves. So once again, Vasily, a lot of weight will be placed on his shoulders again. He performed so well on the Kog'Maw last time around.
Unfortunately, his score didn't necessarily reflect that, though, in that game. They were getting
trying
on pretty well. He did a lot of good damage in team fights, and with the Lulu, that will be incredibly amped up. These are pretty exciting team comps. LMQ was pushed away onto something completely new, though.
Yeah, and you have to say, Lulu in the top lane has been sort of lackluster in the group stages. She does have a good matchup against Maokai, and we'll see what Ackerman can do this time around, because he definitely wants to redeem himself for that Rumble ultimate that cost him the game. Well, that was definitely didn't help him with that game.
Definitely part costing them the game. And I think you're right with that Ackerman, since they went 2-0, where he definitely looks solid, but you can't also sometimes judge those performances when you do pick up the wins. But since then, been missing something in that top lane. Confidence would be a big thing to have coming into this final game. Of course, this is another game that really, really matters. The winner of this one will slot into second position in Group C, in the Group of Death. Could mean that we see all 3 Chinese teams going through into the quarterfinals, or all 3 North Americans. We'll find out here soon. But with both of those compositions locked in, have you guys seen anything that made you want to switch your vote? You can tweet to @LOL eSports using the hashtag OMGWin or LMQWin, and we'll check in throughout the game to see exactly who you guys are standing behind. But for now, we are going to jump into the match. It's OMG versus LMQ for a place in the Final 8.
Let's see here. Some early wards started by both supports. Now, this duo lane matchup, if they do go head-to-head here, there's a lot of harass that a Lucian Janna lane can pull off early, as we've seen. And
Welcome to Summoner's
I feel like
God,
Janna is one of the most potent combinations you can go with, specifically for turret pushing. OMG does have just an incredibly solid, almost circular teamfight team. Thinking about the Maokai ultimate, the Janna ultimate, if they do get engaged underneath a clutch heal, the amount of just damage they can put out if you try and engage on them, Lucian taking advantage of the short range and walking into shockwaves. It's a really well-constructed team fight team. LMQ will have to pull ahead in this one, I feel like.
defensive wards do go up for both sides. And the constant ring of pings. Music to my ears. No invades, though. Let's see here. Top lane is the only thing curious. They might go for a deep ward in this top lane. Ackerman just sitting in his bush that he loves so much. Sometimes he gets some extra experience sitting there during lane swaps.
Sometimes he gets spotted
Sometimes
right
he
away.
does.
But for now, it looks like LMQ are going to be sending Mort and Vasily up there. And it's not just Ackerman that sat inside that brush. They're not spotted here. Move into that top lane either.
There's that tricky delayed invade where they circumvent this Tribush ward. Haven't been seen yet, but they did get intelligence on LMQ because of their defensive ward, or I mean on OMG. So LMQ have the full advantage here in this early game. See what they can do with it. Are they going to try and trap them? It looks like an even exchange here. One buff for each on top, and they're going to catch the duo coming back. Oh, they're setting a trap. Did they get there in time? They got there in time.
They did. They're in.
Vasily
Not seen them.
It's all about Vasily's bait here.
Oh.
The investment for this,
They're all coming up around.
pretty high as well.
Three of them. Vasily can simply walk down to that side.
He's got to hit the
There
sapling.
he is. The sapling is going to hit. Here comes the fake.
They got
They're
it!
going for San. Exhaust is down. First blood for Vasily. Can they get more? Dada will flash off. Ackerman still chasing. They get the 1-for-0 and it goes to Vasily.
What an early game play for LMQ. Defensive ward, the ramp that OMG go for the delayed invade on, and they work around the one defensive ward.
If we think back to all their games this group, LMQ has been playing a really aggressive early game. They seemingly always take that one big risk. This time, it pays off in spades.
And they did their research as well, working around the most common wards there. No Name wants to chase off here for a triple.
Oh. Lovely actually getting spotted here. Pretty obvious, I mean, considering the start that happened. There is the slow coming down, and Lovely going to be forced back and possibly even to recall at that stage. Maybe we'll get the golems on the way out, but that means that No Name is going to double up on the blue buff.
All right. So there was 2 reds who went to OMG, but Kha'Zix does really need a blue in the early part of the game to start clearing. He's going to slow down his early game here significantly. See how Loveling can recover. He did at least get to level 2 off of the first buff, even though they did give it away to San.
Yeah, I think it's really just about how the top laners can deal with experience and how farmed the AD carries get in these lanes. I still remember, I'm sure LMQ does as well, the reckless 18-0 Lucian game. He had a Jan on his team. It happened against Ackerman. If San gets too much experience and level, he can really just bully this lane and get incredibly farmed.
Well, so far, LMQ are receiving 3 lanes worth of experience. Ackerman here, he's having a hard time CSing under turret because there's 2 members, but 3 lanes of experience going to LMQ. Vasily's got that freeze up top, still going strong. So it's been forced into a double jungle here for going, and they're stunting the growth of this Maokai.
See how that one all goes. That was a nice little treat. Let
Let it go! Just let it go!
I don't think I would have got it if you didn't do a little dance after you delivered it.
But I wasn't going to say anything. I know Freak was smiling. That's all that matters to me. A smile on Freak's face.
This could be dangerous, though, actually, if OMG decides to try a 4v2 dive.
Let's see about that. It's going to put Loveling and Go in at level 3. Ward comes over. That ward not spotted. They're going to wait for those waves to close in. There's no ward in the tri-bush. Ackerman and Moore see that one's coming. Who's going to take the damage? The knock-up will hit both of them.
Great turret,
that's tanking the turret there at the back. Ackerman, oh what? He actually died to the turret there. Moore is trying to escape. Lovely gets him, but will go down to the flay in the end of the tower.
It was an execute, so they still got the first blood. Or no, they didn't have the first blood from the early action, but they still got the double kill there. And it was just an execute, so the money doesn't go back over to LMQ.
So Dada managed the turret aggro perfectly because he was the one who got it on him until he died, in which case it was
Not
a little
so
bit
perfect.
lackluster. That dive actually worked out pretty well for LMQ considering the circumstances. So right here, the thing you want is the Janna, since she does the least damage tanking the turret. The last hit was the mistake.
So yeah, remember the damage of these turrets ramping up over time, each consecutive shot, especially on the same target there. So it ends up being the 2 for 1. They get a little bit of gold back, but as you said, wave at the turret, so that little bit of advantage.
Ackerman got a lot of experience during that dive, which is really critical for an underfarmed Lulu in a lane, because now San, who is supposed to have a big edge, is actually being out-leveled by the top laner Ackerman.
Interesting maneuver here. Vasily, they've called Vasily all the way down. They want to go for this dragon now.
It's because the teleport's down from going. It's pretty much an uncounterable dragon.
Yeah, and he's in base, so there's nothing that he can do about that. There are pings towards Xiao in the mid lane, but not sure that they'll be able to kill him off. And that will be here, the dragon falling towards LMQ. Nice bit of gold injection. 1,000 gold lead that they have from that. So, nice little start here for the North American 3rd seed.
Loveling, though, doing his best to work with the situation. So they know that they can't go for that dragon because of the teleports being down. He takes that opportunity to get vision down on the top side. And this pink ward is one of my favorite pink wards that he's placed in deep inside the red jungle. Whoa. Okay, he goes back for that one. But this one, very rarely do teams check that bush on their own side of the jungle early on. So they tend to last very long. We'll see how long that one lasts. Support fight here. Nobody should be walking away with too much of a bruise.
That pink ward you mentioned, Kobe, will give so much intel for Loveling and even the rest of OMG. Being able to have eyes on Lee Sin when he least expects it will allow the lanes to play with a lot more impunity.
Seeing the recall there, which means mid lane and top know that they're safe from that. San gonna put down some decent damage. Actually, will hit level 6, throwing the culling out, and a lot of it connecting there onto Vasily, but it is Vasily that still holds a slight CS lead. It was a pickaxe first pickup for San. Phage for Vasily, who's also level 6, so a bit more power in that lane with his ultimate available.
Yeah, and San has expended all of his mana pushing this, so he's going to go back after this wave, and Vasily can decide to either keep this wave here, or they can shove it back in very quickly. They already have ward on the lane bush. Will they try and stop these backs? No, Moore does not go for it.
No, not
Too far out of vision.
Not going to see that happening, and that will be them going back into base. You see, double longsword actually was the choice here for San, and a few wards, potions, and what have you will be brought back into that bottom lane as they come through. There's a blue buff being given over on its second spawn to Xiao, and Loveling also hitting level 6.
Pretty much all the advantage from LMQ is based off of that first blood trick they played, and the fact that the turret dive went a little bit wrong for OMG down in the bottom lane. The lanes are kind of evening out here. They've reverted into the standard lanes without very large experience advantages on either side.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, even though LMQ do have this gold advantage, though, OMG still have that slight vision advantage, and it really matters what they can actually do with that. If they actually make a move when they see No Name on top side like this, so they know where he is, and this is all about what Loveling can do with the information he's been given. So right now, he thinks that it's going to be a gank top, and Kha'Zix is extremely strong at counter ganking. He's already level 6, and he leveled the spike rack, but No Name not going up there. So at least that ward coverage will tell Loveling that they know there's no Lee Sin up top.
So much value from that pink ward. It basically enables the dive. It enables this aggressive culling from Sen.
Oh,
And
there we go.
enables this.
Ackerman going in there and going on top of him. Can they finish? Flashing, and Loveling will pick up the kill. The patience and the deep ward really paying off for OMG.
100% no counter gank. Let's see here though. No name on the bottom side of the map as Xiao rotates over for a possible dive. This is dangerous though if he goes all the way in. Dada!
Oh, they've got no ID. Dada is completely on his own. The hook. There comes a Xerath ultimate as well. Dada will flash, but where's he going? Into the stun, into the slow, and a burst down from Xiao.
So I don't know, maybe OMG or maybe Cool called that dive because Cool came down first and Dada runs straight up into there. Big kill here for
Dada led
LMQ.
the way a little bit too preemptively right there.
He has a habit of going deep into enemy territory.
Yeah, he goes a little bit before the play when he's not playing at his best as well. That's one of the reasons he gets caught out so much is he's always trying to make the play, but the team doesn't always seem like they're on the same timer.
It goes back to that first big Thresh. I mean, LMQ used it against them last time.
Thresh always gets to bring a friend if he goes in early.
Exactly.
Throws a lantern back, guy comes in.
It's such a big takeaway from this team, I think. LMQ doing some good research on OMG. Uh-oh, Ackerman though.
Oh, gonna walk out. There is Loveling. Slow comes down, jumps over to the other side. There's a shockwave. Ackerman is dead again. 3 deaths. And we were questioning how he was going to perform in this all-important final game, and so far it's not been good.
That was perfectly played by Loveling and Cool. Hops over the Glitter Lance, returns to the top laner who does not have his flash anymore, doesn't have his ultimate anymore from the previous gank. Great repeat gank there by Loveling.
It's really going to be on Loveling to carry this one through. Remember, he got the double kill on the dive in the bottom lane, and he's really making Ackerman pay. The deep ward has been doing so much to keep him ahead of No Name. Just now has No Name matched him with a jungle item of his own, and it's Ackerman who's paying the price for those deep wards.
Down bottom though, everybody knows the pain of that post-6 Kog'Maw. Vasily starting to exert his will over San. So he did get a nice piercing light through the minions.
See how that one all continues to add up fairly even in this stage. Obviously the kill and assist over with Vasily. That leaves him with 2 out of 3 components of that Trinity Force. Is Lovely again gonna head into the jungle, and look at this. Ackerman,
Oh man, the camp.
walk straight over the top, and the ward actually surviving there, couldn't quite take it down. And Ackerman, at least knowing this time around, the Loveling was still there.
Yeah, that was fortunate for Ackerman. That Loveling thought there was a ward in there already, had previously used his sweeper before the ward was placed. Just a trinket ward though. Does expire in only 1 minute.
See some really tense moments, obviously. The top laners do have teleports up. However, OMG, because they just have had better ward control pretty much this whole game, will have priority queue for this dragon, it really seems like.
It's all about the poke here. They need to land some Xerath poke before going with this team fight, because that AoE combo from OMG of the Maokai rooting somebody and then you get a shockwave right there too could be devastating heading up in these pathways to the dragon. LMQ have to be careful not to funnel.
Which is hard, because all the paths to dragon are funnels.
Maybe you have to start from behind OMG, trying to get in from there. San's going to just use his culling to get rid of that minion wave in the bottom and should join the rest of his team for the dragon attempt. And this is where we see what the plan is from LMQ. Do they let this dragon go? Do they try to fight it? They miss the hook, and then they're going to start off the fight. Xiao actually going to get pulled in there by the shockwave. The shield's doing a lot of work there, though, for LMQ, and OMG realize they have to back away. This might actually be a turret.
Yep, a little bit out of range for that ultimate. However, they've got control of mid because there was so much damage sustained taking that dragon. They can shove down mid. They make the call though. OMG here might answer.
Great move by Sen. He knew that the rest of the team was going to have to give up that turret, so he just goes bottom lane to keep the gold in OMG's favor for that trade. They had the vision control, and that's their reward.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Turret apiece then. That leaves us with 1,000 gold lead on OMG's side of the board.
Second
All
one here.
3.
And getting a little risky.
Yeah. Needs to be a bit careful here, but he's gonna try.
What a
for the
move!
steal and
Whoa!
steals it away.
There was no smite for No Name, and
What
they didn't
a move.
decide to push him off. San just being really, really brave.
He just beats
right there.
that one. That was ridiculous.
That's huge. Xiao is a little bit low on mana, and that's going to diminish that wave clear substantially.
Yeah.
Shockwave's coming up here soon as well. LMQ needs to be real careful how close they stick to this one. Going's ultimate running, but they're going to get the tower. Nothing that LMQ can do to stop that one happening. They're trying to reply with Ackerman up top, though.
What a ridiculous play there from San, and they get the mid turret on it. No defense there left from LMQ to spread out. Ackerman does not stick around for the top lane either, so OMG do get a nice influx of gold here for the mid game.
Just want to point out that OMG's favorite pink ward is still alive.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it was a little bit of a gold lead there for LMQ, but you get so
They're
much
going to get it
value
right
out of
now,
that
actually.
invade.
The Silly should be walking through it.
Oh, he's got it.
And suddenly, No Name realizes why all of his ganks haven't been working.
Yeah.
Look at this move up top, though. OMG commit everybody up there. They've gone through the lane, into the side bushes, wrapping around. This could be a collapse of both teams.
Oh, gonna show themselves. Going says, I'm gonna keep pushing. Oh look, I'll pretend that I don't know about this one happening.
This is
but
dangerous.
surprise, here is Lovely. Here's the rest of the team collapsing in. More goes down. Ackerman has to flash away. Dada under the turret here. He's actually gonna fall as No Name comes around. The focus should be No Name now. There is the Zereth ultimate coming in. Can they get away from it? Lands onto the tower, and there is Ackerman actually burning down in the last second, and it ends in a 3-for-2.
Despite the jump that OMG got on LMQ, a little bit of an overdive, and it ends up trading 3-for-2. But if they can get the turret reward, they can keep the pressure on.
Here comes more, though. Their reinforcements are on the way for LMQ. Vasily's so low, he's going to back out. Everybody going to walk away from that team fight. A little bit dirty, that one.
I mean, we can really see here OMG's ability to find the right fights. Maokai Kha'Zix is a great combo for a reason. LMQ used that combination of top laner and jungle in their run against Curse in the North American playoffs. They know the power of it. It's really hard for a team like LMQ to work around it too, because LMQ is a kind of a one-directional team. They do something until it works or they lose.
And you got to give Loveling credit here. He's the one who had to make the plan for OMG because he got the money early, and his plan has worked out so far. Every move that he has made up top has paid off.
That was a good stun from Xiao. That probably possibly saved his life. Dana came through with the Zephyr, and he stunned up the damage threat that was chasing in the form of Orianna. So, things now possibly at least quieten down somewhat. Let's take a look at where we are. 3,000 gold almost. Here's the lead for OMG. 5 kills out of the 7 on Loveling, and he's got 2 assists, so being a part of everything so far. And I think it's fair to say that Loveling was a question mark for some people coming into this event, and honestly, these last 3 games at least, he has shown up big time.
And the entire OMG team has been in this constant state of underperforming, actually, even throughout the Chinese
Whoa!
because we look at all their individual players. Cool, Loveling, and Going, by many, are kind of best in position for their region, yet they were the 3rd place team at regionals, and they're 1 game from not even making it out of groups. They really just need to come together as a team, and this team comp has some pretty good teamwork elements in it.
Xiao is not with LMQ here. This is a 4 versus 5 collapse from OMG. LMQ have to be very careful under this turret. They need Zereth with them to clear out the minions and help lay that poke down. This is a long-range duo from LMQ. They want to get some damage before the fight even breaks out.
Well, switch to mid lane for OMG. Still around about a minute until the next dragon actually comes up, but that still may be a sign for OMG to start getting some vision down. They've gone over the top of that ward in the Death Brush though, so their position actually revealed already.
OMG is trying to lay the trap to land the right shockwave to destroy this game. They already have Ackerman really far behind, so they've kind of removed him as a threat. And the vision control and just general map control has been lost. It's all a matter of how well OMG uses that advantage to try and close in on a victory.
Yeah, they've pretty much already earned themselves this dragon with that vision control. Uh-oh, here goes LMQ for the face check.
Again.
And it's just a whitewash. I mean, Ackerman's going to go down. More might fall as well. He actually got away with the help of the shield and going. And the rest of OMG just turn around. They spot that actually there's a blue buff available for the take-in, which of course San stole away amazingly last time around. They're going to get that one again. Just refresh the buff on Cool. And they're in prime position for this next dragon.
A bit too predictable here for LMQ. Oh no!
Going, actually diving straight into the middle. Cully comes through. It will be the lantern that brings him to safety, and a kick onto Loveling will also make sure that they can't chase No Name down.
LMQ keep going back to this area to try and fight 4 versus 5 even after getting chunked.
So Ackerman does have his teleport, which is why OMG actually doesn't feel safe doing this dragon. But they do feel safe going for more kills.
Wow, there's not much mana left there for Loveling, but he goes in and he's actually Cool that's able to finish off Xiao Wei Xiao. They saw the Howling Gale come from the Death Rush, but they wanted to get a ward down, and that's another death for LMQ, and it's another dragon for OMG.
Plus, there's a huge wave top, so that is the only thing that pulls the trigger here for LMQ to stop running towards this death dragon pit. Vasily does go up top to clean that, but so much momentum here in the favor of OMG.
Oh yeah. They're sitting on some pots of gold too, if we check it out. 3,500 gold actually on Cool, 2,000 on Sand. They're gonna be building some monstrous items the next time they go down to base. That's how much map pressure they had actually. They didn't want to recall because they knew they could keep milking the advantage for what it was. Because as soon as they go back, they might lose their vision control. And they got so many advantages out of it. Blue buff dragons, a straight up death cap was built on Cool.
Yeah, that's gonna sting the next time that shockwave is gonna land.
It's funny, you know, LMQ started this game out really well with a bait in the bush, but since then, it's been all about OMG's baits in the different rushes and in the different patches of Fog of War. They've made magnificent use of that vision control.
And OMG just appears to be the stronger mental team in a lot of ways. They started this group 0-2 despite getting caught out by forming that brush. They've kept it together, continued to ward properly, continued to play as a team, and not many teams can say they started the group 0-2 and managed to make it out of there.
No, but one team might say we started 2-0 and ended up losing all the games after that.
They're still holding on here, trying to defend on secondary turrets for LMQ. Good news for LMQ is that they do have pretty good wave clear. Lulu and Xerath, good combo for that. Vasily will also be a substantial source, so they're going to try and hug their defensive structures.
Trying so hard to get in there and get that Baron ward. Finally do manage to get that in place, but it's just going to be cleared out instantly. OMG once again reigns supreme on that area of the map. Are a couple of recalls coming in there, which cancelled, and OMG are stacking up.
Again, the dangerous game. OMG, they set up the vision, and they're trying to bait. Uh-oh!
Oh, they're going towards No Name. He's going to go, surely falling near. He actually flashes away, so flash burn easily in, so it doesn't completely rule out anything around that Baron, but flash down means that he's vulnerable next time a fight happens.
It's
Baron
just a rinse and repeat for OMG. They feel like if they kill LMQ enough times, they're going to stop checking, and then they can go for the Baron. They thought that that catch on a No Name would be enough to deter LMQ from coming through. It was not. However, it just starves LMQ so heavily from farm. They can't really go to their lanes because there is this constant magnetic force towards objectives that LMQ cannot give up and cannot get vision of.
Wards were put down at the back of Baron Pit. None of them actually going over the wall, which is a slight concern. However, they do come back in because they do have 2 sight stones. They're actually going to go into the Baron Pit and try and do a quick kill on that pink ward, and then he sees the rest of the team and he's gone again.
He almost didn't click that lantern. That would have been really bad. But
well, he could safeguard as well. I think that would back up.
OMG then, going back to buy up again. Oh, back in position.
They're never going to get those 3 on the backside of the pit, though.
Well, that is definitely true. However, they're not going to see along.
They don't really need to.
Well, it's actually not the worst place for wards, considering OMG is generally trying to bait on the other side of the Baron pit instead of doing
They
Baron.
stop baiting though, and they go straight for this turret here. Son getting some good damage on it.
And
Fancy peek.
juking away from every single charge of that Xerath ulti. Turret has taken a bit of a beating as well. They need to be careful of Kha'Zix from the side. Jumps in after the slow with a ball on top of him. Shockwave could be absolutely devastating. And you can see already OMG, and I say that almost like it's a new thing, which it really isn't. They're pulling LMQ all over the place.
Yep, slow control here from OMG. They want to get through to the next round. We've seen this a lot in these very high pressure games where teams are going to take them very, very cautiously, and they focus heavily on controlling that vision and strangling the supply lines of their enemies here. OMG are doing just that, slowly growing their lead.
They really need to make it out of group stages to try and make up for last year. Last year, they destroyed many of the teams in their group and then were really upset in the quarterfinals by Royal Club at the time. It's a redemption opportunity for them here, especially after starting the groups 0-2. It's really kind of OMG coming together and trying to make that run. That's the whole reason these guys have been motivating themselves throughout this entire 2014 season, is to try and make it again past this moment.
Well, LMQ's story is also a pretty impressive one when you think of it that way.
Yeah.
It's coming from China to North America through the challenger scene and managing that third seed to come into Worlds. Big pressure on their side as well. So far this game, this final match of the group to decide which of these teams will join Samsung Blue in the quarterfinals is looking better for OMG. 6,000 gold lead, and now they're pushing onto this middle inner turret. There's no real reaction here from LMQ. I think they might end up losing it.
Yeah, too dangerous for Xiao to get close to clear any more than the front line of minions there. They really need Ackerman there as well to combo Glitter Lances.
I will say, though, that despite the huge vision advantage OMG has pretty much since the last Dragon, they haven't done much. LMQ did not suffer casualty, and until that turret almost went down, hadn't even suffered turret damage. OMG has to take the small prize instead of the big one, just going for a Dragon. But the stall has been pretty good here by LMQ. Death Cap completed on Xiao, and Vasily well on his way to Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah, LMQ, they committed a full year of their lives traveling overseas to North America and trained up and worked their way all the way through the Challenger League for this game. The game to get them out of group stages and the next round of Worlds. So they're hanging on with everything that they have.
That pink ward is just a little bit too far into the Baron pit. Won't want the ward outside, so in a similar fashion to those three on the back side of the pit, it will be in a somewhat position there. There's no nade going through. More will give him a lantern as well.
That's the trick about pink warding around Baron. Wards we'll see in straight lines, so since the cove of the Baron wall cuts off the vision on those wards outside, so unless OMG wards really far on the outside, kind of where that sapling is, they won't see the outside wards. However, if they place a pink ward that far back, then the wards over the wall won't be spotted because the range of the pink ward couldn't see the ward on the inside. So LMQ is using all of their game knowledge to keep this Baron visible.
In the end, OMG might put down a second pink ward, one on either side. That's
what they have to
what
do.
You've got to do.
They've got two, and they've got plenty of sweepers ready.
So, setting up now a bit of a trap. Xiao says, seeing you already, make a blast through to that rush, so that you know, and I know that you're there. Xiao, now, with that death cap with the Athene, Sorcerer Shoes, and Amto, he's ripping through those minion waves and being able to keep them back from these towers for quite a while. Lulu, of course, will go clear on that front, and Connor can keep the range, stay safe behind these turrets. And then at OMG, yes, as you mentioned, Jack, they've had big control on this top side of the map. They've done a lot of damage to that inner turret in the mid lane and in the top lane, but actually not taken anything apart from the Dragon.
It hasn't been the most successful siege. They are powering up a little bit, though. Obviously, going and just getting more and more armor will make a turret dive less threatening. But if they wait too long, Ackerman with a death cap would make up for a lot of his early game deficits. Despite him being so far behind, he'd still provide some massive shields. And You don't want Facility to get to late game Kog'Maw here without scale, but that's the guy they want to catch.
Going right in there. The Wild Growth was using a lantern as well. Will bring Vasily back from the danger zone. Going actually losing more health there than that of LMQ. They did, of course, take that top tower. The mid one is just a couple of auto attacks for San. And once again, they're going to pull off to Baron.
That's a lot of damage sustained by Going here. And LMQ, all they have to do is land more poke onto OMG. All those nooks and crannies we talked about, paying off for LMQ so they don't have to face check. No name here.
He doesn't have to do that!
Wow, I'm really surprised that he's done this. I mean, he's cleared out the ward. He knew he'd been spotted moving over there.
He didn't know if it was a two-man Baron or not.
Yeah,
he did actually have to do that. That was my mistake.
He saw them going into the pit, so they didn't actually have vision inside of the pit.
True.
That's what he thought it was.
He knew they were setting up a bait, but he also knew that two people could kill the Baron. And OMG is just using that to pick up that kill on No Name, making this hold even more difficult for LMQ.
And Loveling, every time they come near, especially if it's a single target, no, not scared at all. I'm just jumping over the back and, of course, can poke away more than one with those Void Spikes. So OMG, they're culling again, going to come out from San, to be honest. Could maybe afford to just tank up that tower just to get those final couple of hits that you could get from receiving one go. However, again, it's a trip to the bottom side of LMQ's jungle. Clear it out completely. You see that one again from No Name, from his vision this time.
Did not see a single thing in Baron. The ward outside, obviously because ward see in straight lines, doesn't see into the pit. Kha'Zix's Lucian at this point in the game can very easily two-man the Baron. So he tried to make an escape, but his ultimate was down for a disengage, and he ended up dying.
Oh, they're making a run on mid here. Only Xiao is there for wave clear. That turret's going down. That thing's dead.
Yeah.
Got it.
What a call there. It's only got...
You are a bit of a prophet, Go. Minions, I think, would have done that all on their own. Seems to be pushed down towards this bottom lane where the minion wave is finally coming up. And apparently they don't even need the minion wave there either. And they're just going to take down that final inner turret of the game. Just a couple of moments when those minions do start to come on through. In fact, no, they're just going to take that later. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, again, this is the cautious play that we see under these very tense games where this is literally the game that decides if you continue at Worlds. So, playing it nice and slow, OMG, taking everything on the map. LMQ trying to scale up, trying to farm as much as they can. Vasily at least got his 2-item combo. We've got 2-item combos for Xiao as well. Ackerman has yet to go back, though, and complete that death cap he spoke of.
Yeah, he actually ended up spending something on wards and probably home guard boots because he's not even close, actually, to death cap. He's sitting on 195 gold. So he's going to have to do with that amount of underfarm. They're channeling their farm into people that are already farmed as well, just to try and get them into those item breakpoints. Xiao really trying to power farm for that Void Staff. And Vasily probably working towards either a Last Whisper or an Infinity Edge, depending on if he's planning on targeting Maokai much or not.
Here we go. Once again, round 2 of ward clearing. I'd say round 2, it's more like round 22.
Yeah,
on that
and it looks like the Dragon's going to cycle again. OMG's taking this really slow. They don't want to get trapped in the Baron pit against Azereth, and even though they aren't crushing LMQ, I feel like OMG has enough confidence in their late game team fight, even if there is a Kog'Maw and Azereth on the other side, that the fact they are taking these small gold leads, it's grown from 7,000 to about 12,000, despite big plays not happening. So OMG is just going to continue to do this until they feel comfortable.
And they are making headway, too, as far as map control is concerned. They've got this entire outer ring of secondary turrets down now. So it is slow but steady, but they are going with that strangulation method. Now, that being said, the hardest line to crack are always those inhibitor turrets because they funnel you into that small area. And this is the point where we may see them finally pull the trigger on that 2-man Baron, on that committing to actually killing the Baron. Looks like they will try and bait once again, though. Try and get another pick here. They got plenty of ward coverage. And they do.
But kind of a few of them coming in there, and we see Dada getting a big blast from Xiao. Pink ward was put down, will be swiftly cleared out again. Dada, I think, taking the right decision here, will recall back home. And then speed back out. Mikhail's is done
That's a big
for him
buy.
as well, so that's going to prevent basically more this done from Xiao coming out. Should give them an advantage again. No wards down. No Name a little bit scared now of actually stepping forward just to put that ward in.
He dies so fast, and when they're getting frozen, it's really only Xiao and Vasily who've been able to pick up farms. So No Name is just trying to do just as much, if not more, with less as far as his comparison to OMG's farm levels.
And Loveling is about 3 times as important as No Name is right now. Loveling's got not only a tremendous advantage as far as damage and teamfight impact, but he also has a Guardian Angel on top of that. He is a huge threat just hitting level 16 for the evolved claws as well. Improved isolation damage.
That's just going to make it even harder for No Name to try and check things on his own. 4,000 individual roll gold advantage will do that for you. The scouting methods of LMQ are getting more and more dire. They had to use Zerathal just for vision there because they're not able to get enough wards over the wall this time. It seems like this strangulation strategy is about to choke LMQ out.
Whoa! Oh, they're going to make the move themselves. Quick dash out, though, from No Name. Oh, well, look at the tree. It's a fast tree.
I am Brute.
Well, that's going to push LMQ out a fair ways. OMG finally committing to the Dragon. Really safely trying to get the wards in, but they know that Baron is low. They have to commit.
Baron goes low. Dada actually taking a big blast.
Deal?
Where is the Baron going?
No
he
deal.
goes over to OMG. No Name tried to get in. He got out, but Loveling chases him. Vasily is there. The Cullen shredding him down. That gives the reset, and No Name will fall. It's a double for Loveling with the Baron. This is OMG's chance to take in hips.
Loveling is a monster this game. Fully evolved, everyone on OMG doing work. There's not much damage to take out Sand.
When there is a flashing go going for Xiao. There's a shockwave to finish him off. Wild does nothing. More will fall. They go into Ackerman. He's going to be knocked out of the game as well. And that is an ace for nothing. The Baron to OMG. They possibly could try and win here.
That's gonna be the game. And what a well-played game here
They
by
just
OMG.
strangled LMQ out. They never took too big of a risk. The Baron was a bit of a risk, but they had enough strength, and once LMQ committed, they would have won the team fight anyway.
Nexus turrets do fall. The spawn from No Name won't be enough to keep LMQ in this game. It's OMG that pick up the victory and claim the second spot from Group C to go to the quarterfinals.
And they also ensure that every LPL team in this World Championship makes it through to the quarterfinals. They started the group poor, 0-2, but then they won 3 of their next 4, including this all-pivotal win against LMQ to make it through.
And really push Samsung Blue as well in a game where you thought that Samsung Blue was gonna steamroll them as well. So OMG definitely on the up and up. Obviously it was a ropey start for them. It's almost the exact opposite story of LMQ's run here at Worlds. They both started with a 2-0. That fell by the wayside. And that means that OMG will be moving through to the quarterfinals. We don't know just yet who they're playing though, because we have one more game here today in Singapore, and that will decide who gets first and second place. Najin White Shield versus Cloud9.
Round 2 coming up.
Winner of that game.
3.
Winner of that game plays OMG in the quarterfinals. That's going to be all important. We're not done yet. And every game matters so much.
And that's the beauty, you know. Last day, all these games have been super important. Kaboom, who had not won a single